And they're off. You'll notice that this time both runners are using the PS1 version. This is just for convenience. On this tournament, most versions are allowed except for X Collection. So you can either use PC version, PlayStation 1, or emulator. So to be fair, both are running on PlayStation 1. Okay, the intro stage is pretty much jumping. On this game, we want to jump as much as possible and not dash, because every time we dash, we lose about 7 frames of idle animation. And we'll just dash jumping all the time. Okay, Baldo is done with Area 1, and so is Ultra. What you saw back there on that door is called the SDC, or Saber Dash Cancel, where you do the first or second slash of your combo and then do a dash to cancel it. That's done because all bosses and any enemies have iframes, but if you hit them with the first or second slash, they have no iframes, so you can just keep hitting them indefinitely. And on that particular case of the door back there, we do STC because the third slash generates lag, and the first and second one do not. Okay, Baldo, done with Area 2, here comes DRAGOON. This boss is pretty easy, you just have to be careful of where you're standing, because what he does depends on your position. If you are left of center, he will either stay low, like he did with Baldo, or fly low to the other side, but you can still hit him. However, if you are too close to him, he'll fly to the other side of the screen, like there to an Ultra Lavender, and it'll take a bit of time. It's not a huge time loss, but it's a time loss anyway. Some text to match through, cutscenes. And here come the 8 Maverick stages. For 0-100%, there are many different routes. You can either go STINGRAY first or Magma Dragoon first. Whatever you do, it doesn't really matter for the first stage between those two. But most players go Magma Dragoon first because of convenience, since STINGRAY is pretty hard to do without the rolling slash. Okay, so both runners are going for Magma Dragoon. Magma Dragoon stage is very straightforward. You just want to keep dash jumping and not get hit by those meteors. And you also want to evade those fires that rise from the ground, like those. But that rising fires are kind of tricky, because when they come out of the ground, they don't immediately hit you. They must be halfway through, and only then they do have a hitbox. This one door is a particular case where you don't STC because it's actually faster to use the third slash. Area 2 is more of the same. You only have to make sure to grab the hard tank that's right here. Second try, it's okay. And now we're taking the right armor so we can go down through the lava and not have to climb all the way up to get to the boss. I think Ultra got it on the first try, it's very nice. Okay, here comes Magma Dragoon. Magma Dragoon is a very simple boss. You just want to keep right next to him and STC him to death. You only have to be careful of not getting hit by his attacks, but to only crashing his body, because actually bunking on him deals less damage than getting hit by his attacks. And Baldo's done with Magma Dragoon. For beating Magma Dragoon, we get the Ryu engine, which is a rising upward slash. We want this fire attack because we need it for the hard thing on Wet Spider stage, and we also need it for the hard thing on Frostwater stage. Okay, the next stage for Baldo is Cyber Peacock, and so should it be for Ultra, I think. Cyber Peacock is a really fast-paced stage. The game itself wants you to be fast because they track you with this target thing, and you get a rank once you finish this section. Every section on Area 1 gives you a rank. This is PlayStation 1 version, so depending on the rank you get on these sections, you'll either pass to the next section, get an item, or have to do the section again. Of course, they want to get the items, so they have to be really fast and get an S rank. First item was Life Up. The second item here is the Hardening, and the third item will be the Sub-Tank. Remember that this game, at least for Zero, only has 8 hard tanks, 2 sub-tanks, 1 weapon tank, and 1 EX tank, or as I've called it before, the useless tank. In this section, we want to do some damage boosting there, so we don't get trapped by the yellow balls. If we get trapped by the yellow balls, we'll have to mash our D-pads left and right so we can get free of them. It makes you lose a lot of time, so you really don't want it. Oh, it's really bad for Ultra. Okay, now on Area 2, we'll have these switches that turn the stage upside down. We'll be pressing most of them. There's only one we bait, which is the one ball that just passed right there. And yeah, this stage is pretty straightforward. We want these purple spheres to crash on those purple blocks so we can actually progress. Okay, here comes the Cyber Peacock fight. Cyber Peacock is an RNG heavy boss. We want him to either be on the right or left side on the screen so we can hit him with normal jump slashes, because they deal almost the same damage as the Ryu engine, the Fire Slash, which is his weakness. But if he spawns down, we either want to just do a Ryu engine if he spawns on top of us, but if he spawns in front of us, we'll do an Air Slash and then a Ryu engine for maximum damage. That's a very good peacock for Waldo. For defeating Cyber Peacock, we get the Rakuhoha, which is serious Giga attack where he punches the ground and punches some energy blasts. The Rakuhoha is useful to defeat Storm Owl and later on for the general fight, so we don't get knocked back. Good peacock for Ultra as well. The next stage is Split Mushroom. This is a very movement heavy stage. When you learn this stage, it'll be very easy, but whenever you start speedrunning this game, this will be a great roadblock, because if you don't do an almost perfect movement, you'll surely get hit a lot, and you don't want to lose a lot of HP on this stage because you'll be damage boosting later on. That's a good climb for Baldo. Ultra had a little bunk there, but he didn't lose that much HP. It's because of this mini-boss that we went to conserve our HP. We'll be damage boosting on him twice. So, yeah. We get there, do 2 Ryu engines, and then get down, and the last 2 Ryu engines and he's done. Ultra having a bit of trouble with the climb, and Baldo's done with everyone. Area 2 is more of the same, tight movement. Baldo's managing pretty well so far. He's playing it safe so do not lose HP. That's okay. This is the only item required on this stage, that heart tank. And now comes an auto scorer. Oh. Bit of trouble with the mini boss. Okay, Ultra's done with the mini boss. This elevator has a very small skip which saves an eligible amount of time, but it almost requires to go Stingray first, so we have the air dash. We do the Ryu engine there, and then we air dash to the left to grab that platform and get up really fast, but it doesn't really matter because the fight won't actually start unless the camera pans up, and the camera won't pan until the elevator reaches the end of it. Now comes the split mushroom fight. Split mushroom always does the exact same thing. He'll spawn those clones, then he'll create a copy of himself, and he'll jump around. As long as you get this fight straight, it's no big deal. Small bunks there, but it's okay. Good fight nonetheless. Okay, for defeating Split Mushroom we get 2 abilities, the Kuembu and the Kuensan. The Kuembu is a double jump, which will be useful to get some items and optimize movement overall. And the Kuensan is the Rolling Slash, which is very useful to hit Stingray more consistently. However, it does deal a bit less damage. So when we get to the boss rush, we'll be fighting Peacock with only Ryu engines and no air slashes. Jet Stingray stage is just a big auto score. We'll be riding this bike and we'll want to do air dashes all the time because they move the camera just a tiny bit. Ultra's having some trouble with Split Mushroom and he's done. Jet Stingray stage has 2 items, the hard tank is of all the grab back there, and a sub tank here on area 2. As long as you know exactly when to dash, you'll be okay. Here comes the sub tank, and there it is. Now we're onto a Jet Stingray. Jet Stingray is another RNG heavy boss. If he gives us a good pattern, we can kill him very easily, but if he decides to not kill down, it'll take a lot of time, so let's hope both runners get good RNG. always do either this deck or dive first. Obviously, the little Stingray attack is better for us because we can do more damage. Oh, Ultra died. That's pretty important. Oh, Stingray didn't go down for Baldo. Let's hope he goes down on this cycle. If he gets to the yellow HP, he probably won't. Oh, he did. Okay, that's okay, I guess. It's not the best pattern, but as long as he comes down, you're okay. Oh, Ultra died again. It's really important. No, Marvin, this is not randomized. Hopefully, we won't be seeing a Mega Man X randomizer anytime soon. Okay, for defeating Jet Stingray, we get the Hienkaku. This is just an air dash, nothing more, nothing less. Ultra's having some serious trouble with this part. So you can get over it. Go Ultra! Okay, next stage for Baldo is Storm Owl. Storm Owl is another straightforward stage. We'll be dash jumping most of the time. And we also want to grab a right armor because it's a lot faster to get the right armor and fly with it. The right armor's air dash is pretty long. The move you get from Slash Beast, that's called the Shibuga. It's a dash attack. It's useful for Frost Water stage. We'll be using it to break some ice blocks. That's the only real use I know of it. And it's limited to 100% because on any percent we go to Frost Waters before Slash Fist. Ultra's done with Air 1, that's good. And so is Baldo. Okay, here comes a real small skip. It's a bit risky, but as long as you know how to do it, it's very free. There, double jump, and a jump. Real nice. This mini boss is a pushover. We usually kill him on 3 cycles. And there it's done. Now comes the Storm Owl fight. Storm Owl is fought differently from other bosses because we won't be assisting him. We'll be mostly hitting him with the third slasher for combo because for some reason it doesn't trigger his iframes, and a second slash from the third slash from a second slash does. It's pretty weird. We'll also be using the Giga Tag a lot. Yeah, Zero is a lot faster than X on every Mega Man X game. Except for X7, I think? Not really sure. At least for the PlayStation 1 games, Zero is a lot faster than X. Okay, both runners have killed their respective bosses. Not over yet. For defeating Storm Owl, we get the Tenkuha. What this ability does is turn our saber pink, and with this pink saber, we can deflect bullets. It has no other use whatsoever. It's similar to the Shot Eraser part on Mega Man X5 and X6, so it's not a really awesome power, to be honest. A little difference in routes here. Ultra will go for Web Spider and Baldo will go for Slash Beast. Sorry for that. People do run with X. Actually, Ultra here did that HDQ run with X. It's a very solid run. Okay, these stages are pretty straightforward. As I mentioned earlier, they're mostly dash jumping all the time. And now comes Slash Beast miniboss. Just doing some rolling slashes. Well, this seems to be dropping frames, but we'll fix something soon, I hope. So Baldo's done with the miniboss, and Ultra's going through Area 2 of Web Spider. Web Spider only has a hard tank for 0, which is right here. We'll be using the Ryu engine to burn this tree, and there it is. And we totally burn this tree because it's actually faster than going all the way up. Okay, now comes Web Spider. Web Spider has a very tricky quick kill that you can pull off if you get the right pattern, where you hit Web Spider off screen. It's very hard to do, and as I said earlier, you have to get the right pattern. Let's see if Ultra can get it. Seems like he won't go for it. Nope, he didn't go for it, but it's okay. Let's hope all the stream fixes sometime soon. I think he's about to get the hard tank, but okay. Ultra's done with Web Spider. Let me refresh the restream a bit. Okay, now that we've beaten Web Spider, we get the Raijingeki. Raijingeki is a lightning forward step. This tag is used to defeat Split Mushroom on the refights. And to execute this move real fast, we'll be using it as part of a combo. Next stage for Ultra is Slash Beast, which is stage Baldo seems to be on, as stream seems to be dropping some frames. As I said earlier, Slash Beast is straightforward dash jumping and trying not to get hit too much. However, we'll be doing some damage boosts later on. Also, on this game, you always want to kill as few enemies as possible, because each time you defeat an enemy with an attack that is not the first or second ground slash, you'll generate about 5 frames of lag, and that sums up with some time later on. But if you're not feeling secure, it's okay. Okay, Ultra's done with the Slash Beast miniboss, and here comes Area 2. Area 2 is more of the same. You only have to make sure to grab the hard end on the way just a little further ahead. There's a right armor on this part, but we won't be grabbing it as a speedrun, because it's actually faster to just keep that champion as 0. And there's the hard tank. Now the train stops, we get a little section where we just keep jumping, and we get a full health refill on the end, so it's okay if you got hit. You'll be safe anyway. Yeah, some sync. Okay, now we got to Slash Beast fight. Slash Beast, it's a very hard boss. He can deal a lot of damage depending on what he does. He can either roar, jump, do some kick attacks, or go from one side of the screen to the other. You'll mostly want him to roar and jump all the time, because if he does any other attack, he'll deal a lot of damage, especially if he goes from one side of the screen to the other. Okay, Ultrason. It's a bit hard. RNG. The estimate for this race is about a little bit under 50 minutes. I hope. For defeating Slash Beast, we get the Shibuga, as I mentioned earlier, is a dash attack, and we'll be using it to break some ice blocks on Frostwater's stage. Frostwater is more of the same about dash jumping. We'll be taking advantage of slopes in the stage, because even if you're walking, you'll maintain your speed in slopes. So sometimes you'll see your runners dashing on the slopes, and then won't lose any time. Only downward slopes though. Oh. Okay, here comes the EX tank. What this tank does is give us 4 lives when we do a game over, so it's completely useless for the speedrun. That's why I call it the useless tank. And here comes Frostwater's minibus. Kind of ice cool thing. What we want this minibus to do is to stay put and try to go from one side to the other, like that. Because when it does that attack, it has no invincibility, and it won't guard like that. Ultra misses chance, sadly, and you'll have to take this really bad pattern. Bit dangerous. Okay. Ultrastone. Yeah, on this stage we also saw Blizzard Buffalo and Chill Penguin frozen there. Just a little Easter egg. Seems like Ultra didn't go for the Shibuga. It's okay. He'll lose some time though. Remember that Ultra doesn't usually run 0. He is more used to running X 100%, and if I recall correctly, he's the second on leaders. I'm not sure about his 0 PD, but he's a very good X runner. Okay, Frostwater's fight is also a bit different from others. We cannot SDC Frostwater's because no matter what attack you do, he'll always get the full invincibility. So we'll be doing a rolling slash and then only Ryu engines. Let's hope Baldo comes back. Okay, first one understand. Normally on this stage, on this fight, I mean, you'll normally try to hit him with a reverse Ryu engine, because for each frame you see those blue sparks generate lag. So we want to do the Ryu engine the other way, so we only hit him with the edge for sword, and the animation doesn't generate any lag. We can also deboost, like Ultra Editor, but if you're low on health, it's better to just do reverse Ryu engines. This tournament has different groups. These two runners in particular belong to Group E. If you watch the bracket, you can see the groups. I think this is the one, or this one. Yeah, that one. There's a challenge. You can see the groups there. As I said earlier, on Storm Owl will be using their stride armor and just fly through all this area one. Let's see if Ultra gets this small skip. Oh, he won't go for it. It's okay. If you fail this, you can die, so if you want to be safe, it's better to not do it at all. Oh, Ultra will get an extra cycle. And he's done. Let's see how Ultra's Owl goes. Oh. He's fighting pretty safely, but it's okay. Remember that Ultra is not used to running zero, so... Okay, he's done. Okay, now that we're done with the 8 Maverick stages, we get to say so talk, and now here comes Spaceport Colonel stage. On this stage we'll be fighting Colonel of the Rebel Force. On the Colonel fight, we will mostly be using Frost Wanderer's ability, the Hyoretsu-san, which is a downward ice step, because it's its weakness, and we can SDC Colonel, so we'll be using that instead. And also, whenever his animation changes stance, like he guards and defends, his iframes reset, so we can get up to a triple hit on him. Okay, here comes the Colonel fight.
Show me what you've got.
Unfortunately, Balda's internet went off, so he's stuck for the time being. Okay, ultrasound with Bono. Now comes the first part of Final Weapon. On this stage, we'll be battling Iris. I think he lost, unfortunately. It depends on the SRL rules. Okay, so for the Iris fight, we'll mostly be using rolling air slashes and Ryu engines. We'll want to spam the rolling slash until that crystal comes out, because that crystal is the only way we can actually damage Iris. Okay, I'll just going for STC, but it's okay. And we want to hit this crystal with Ryu engines because it's his weakness, so we have to deal more damage. Ultra's having a pretty bad fight so far. Okay, he does have suckling. He should be okay. This deck is hard to bait. See. Oh, since Balda is back, and he's already beaten Iris. Oh, so Ultra will let the Iris cutscene play out.
Iris!
He promised he'll do it.
Iris!
Zero,
Hang in there, Iris.
please, stay away from Replifos. Let's live together. In a world where only Reploids exist.
Iris, there's no world just for Reploid. It's only a fantasy.
Yes, I know, but I wanted to believe it. I wanted to live in a world where only Reploids exist, with you.
Iris! 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 Ah! No, this isn't happening! There's no reason for me to go on.
What am I fighting for? Okay, so Baldo is now on to General fight. We want General to throw his hands at us, so we can be at ground distance from him, sort of. So we can do a slowish SDC and kill him right there. Okay, now that Baldo's done with General, he's going for the last stage of the game. We'll be going for the boss rush, and then the final Sigma fight.
My fate is sealed. I have no choice.
Okay, the first fight of the refights is Magma Dragoon. It's exactly the same as on the stages. We'll just be doing STC on him. We want to do a counterclockwise order for the boss rush. Remember that STC is not a cheat, it's a glitch, and it's completely allowed. Let's see if Baldo gets the spider quick kill on the refight. And... oh. A little late on the attack. You'll want to have Web Spider on iframes when he goes up. Web Spider must be on iframes to be able to perform the quick kill. If Web Spider goes up and it's not on iframes, you won't be able to hit it. So... oh, Ultra died to the spikes, but it's okay. It's better to game over there than on the middle of the boss rush, because if you game over on the boss rush, you have to do all the fights again. So that's perfectly fine. Next fight for Baldo is Cyber Peacock. As I mentioned earlier, I will only be using Ryu Engine on this refight, because the rolling slash deals less damage than the normal air slash. Good fights for both runners. Next fight for Baldo is Jet Stingray. And remember that Ultra hasn't beaten Magma Dragoon yet, so he's actually 2 bosses behind. Yeah, all Mega Man games have a storyline, but since Mega Man is a really old game, most of the story was in the manual, so not many people got to see it. Oh, Stingray's giving a bad pattern to Baldo. And Stingray refused to go down. This is really bad for Baldo. But he managed nonetheless. Ultra will go for Magma Dragoon now, and Baldo will be going for a Slash Feast. Here. These 2 fights are exactly the same. All the difference is we have more health. And bonus them with Slash Feast. Next fight for Baldo is Split Mushroom. This fight will go a little differently because now we got the right Jingeki with Spider's ability, and we'll be using it like 3 times, 4 times to hit Split Mushroom, and we'll also use it to banish those small clones he does. So remember that the air slash deals the rolling air slash deals less damage than the normal air slash, so we won't be hitting him with it rolling slashes that much. Ultra went for Storm Owl. Storm Owl is exactly the same, so not a big difference there. Next fight for Valdo is Frostwaters. This fight is also exactly the same, so we'll see our own Sledge and RU engine spam. Valdo's a little low in health though. There, he's doing some reverse RU engines. That's pretty good. Oh, Ultra got a double hit. That's really good to get. Valdo's a little low on HP, but as long as Stormilo gives him a good RNG, he should be okay. Oop. Careful. Okay, Valdo's stunned with the refights. Slash is giving a really bad pattern to Ultra. That's done. Okay, now that the refights are done for Valdo, he will be going up against Sigma. Sigma has 3 phases. This Reaper phase, then we can only hit with our RU engine, but first we skip a cutscene. Okay, as I was saying, the first phase is this Reaper Sigma. We can only hit it with the RU engine, so that's the only thing you'll see. We'll do 2 RU engines, and then Sigma will always spawn either on the right or left side and go from that side to the other. When he does that attack, we want to damage boost on him and then do an attack the other way so we can do a double hit. It's not hard to pull off, but if you fail it, you can lose some health.
It's not over yet.
Okay, first phase of Sigma is done. Here comes second Sigma. Oh, Ultra died to Stingray, that's really important. For this Sigma, we'll be mostly using STC and Gigadex. We also want to go close to that wall so that side sticks to the wall and not to the ground. We want the side to stick to the wall because that pattern is a lot easier to evade than if the side goes to the ground. And also we won't be able to STC Sigma if it goes to the ground, so yeah. Now comes the last phase of Sigma. There are actually 2 bouncing one. This Gunner Sigma and then a big head Sigma or trash Sigma. And also those colored heads between each form. For this Sigma, we want to do some SSTC. It's a variation of STC where we cancel combo on the second slash, because the second slash actually deals more damage to that Sigma than the first one. And Gunner Sigma is plain old slashes. Oh, Valdo got at the end. It's a bad pattern. Oh, he missed STC there. Please accepting. And Sigma should be done. Okay. Another the end, but it's okay. As long as you pull off the double hits on Gunner Sigma, you'll always kill him in 1 or 2 cycles. And that's time for Valdo. Finished the race with an official SRL time of 49.50. It's a very good run for Valdo, except for that his internet went down for a while, but it's okay. He could come back and ultimately won the race. Now let's see how Ultra Sigma goes. Yeah, Ultra did play the cutscene of Iris death, but it wouldn't really have mattered. Not to say Ultra's bad, but Ultra's PB is a lot better than Ultra's PB, at least for Zero, because Ultra's a exceptional X runner. Oh, a little mistake there. Failed to double hit. It's okay. First phase shall be done now. Okay, side on the wall. Oh, facing the other side. One more. And there. When you saw Waldo enter this fight, you saw him grab that health refill before the camera locked.
You are finished.
You can only grab that health refill if you enter that trigger with a Shibuya. If you only jump there, the game will stop you earlier, so you won't grab the health refill immediately. This is a bad pattern for the head segment. We want him to suck some trash and throw it back at us, but if he blows us away, we won't be able to see him. Know the end for Ultra. How long? I'm not sure, but the group stage deadline is March 4th. Oh, that's really unfortunate. You don't usually see a death like that. To see previous races, they will be uploaded to YouTube as soon as our VOD highlighters get on the move. I'm a highlighter myself, so if it was from this tournament, I'll be sure to highlight soon. Oh, went for the other side. Two more. Okay, here comes round 2. Also, you'll notice that now Sigma won't pull any dialogue. That's because all the bosses on this game only give you their dialogue once, and the second fight you face them, if you die, they won't give you any dialogue, except for Final Sigma. That's the only boss that will give you dialogue no matter what. Ultra's losing a lot of HP here. It's really dangerous. Oh, that's really bad.
Are you ready for your final journey?
Definitely ready, Sigma. Okay, Ultra wants to conserve HP, it seems. Sort of. But also remember that Ultra is not used to this category, so it's understandable. Okay, here comes Final Sigma. Remember that Ultra used his sub-tank when he died in Final Sigma the last time, so he either has no sub-tank or very little energy. So he should be really careful.
Tremble with terror, you are finished!
This is a good pattern. Ultra's taking a lot of hits, so it's a bit dangerous. Oh, wrong way. Okay, now the end this time. Hopefully he can get it on. Oh, that's a bit dangerous. Yes, but only a little bit. So it's not that big. The health creeper. Oh. Oh, Ultra died. It seems Ultra forfeited from the race here on the SRL channel. So, sucks for him, but yeah. Yes, Ultra is saying there in chat he's more used to running X, so I don't blame him for this. It's okay, man. Alright, now that all the runners are done, next up on the schedule is A Link to the Past King Sanity. I hope you guys enjoyed this race, despite the Bloodlust internet problems and Ultra's trouble with Zero. But yeah, remember to follow the runners, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.